Hey everyone, welcome to another 3 Questions interview with Commercial Integrator. My name is Jonathan Blackwood. I'm very lucky to be joined by Steve Seminario, VP of Product Development at Planar. Steve, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Jonathan.
So, we're talking about LCD, LED, video walls, digital signage. It's a big topic on the site this month. What should integrators know about the differences between LCD and LED video wall technology? I know that's something that Planar has a lot of thoughts on.
Yeah, and I'm sure, every integrator knows a lot about that topic already. But sort of at a high level, I think, the big thing that's really changed over the last few years is, especially for high pixel density, fine pitch, kind of close viewing distance video walls, LED has really gotten to the point where it's as mission critical and as solid a solution as LCD. There's absolutely no doubt. And so they become great choices either way you go. Kind of as predicted by sort of all the pundits, the growth rates for fine pitch LED have really blown through where LCD was. And that's primarily because if people can get a seamless wall, they want it seamless, no matter how small the seams are. And with LED technology, it really affords some certain advantages besides that as well. It gives you some advantages in terms of installation flexibility. Like it's easier to do corners, whether they're interior corners or exterior corners. We see that a fair amount now. It also gives you really the choice of pitch. So for some of these high resolution video walls, you need 0.9 millimeter pitch to really get the pixel density you need for the close viewing distance, but maybe you don't, depending on the viewing distance, 1.2, 1.5, 1.8. And so that sort of variety of price point and image quality is really nice to be able to give your customers those different price points, and there are significant differences. So I'd say that flexibility, as fine pitch LED has gotten just as mission critical as LCD, and has offered sort of more choices in terms of the way you install it and the price points, we've seen that really reflected in the market results. But we sell a lot of both still, and they're really great solutions.
Yeah, no, without a doubt, and obviously, different solutions for different environments makes a ton of sense. But I do want to, you mentioned the flexibility and LED, you can design it around corners, and you can really do all kinds of interesting design elements with an LED video wall. What kind of customization are you seeing from some of your customers or some of the integrators you work with that LED is capable of that maybe LCD, they wouldn't be able to create a video wall the same?
Yeah, that's really been a huge trend in our business. It surprised me how big a trend that's been in our business, this whole customization of LED solutions. One of the first things we kind of realized, maybe it's kind of obvious, but when we first got into LED was the fact that, LCD, you're kind of dealing with these 46-inch, 55-inch, 16:9, 1080 blocks, and kind of that's it in terms of your raw material. With LED, the sky's the limit. Not only pitch, but brightness level, the module size, the aspect ratio, the material that the LED goes onto, whether it's rigid or flexible or transparent. The technology itself just lends itself to so many different solutions and so many customizations, and customers and integrators are really recognizing that. And so more and more, as they look at their installations, they're getting really creative about, here's what I would like to do. How would you do that? And so we actually have a set of standard products, obviously, that we sell, but we also have what we call a design team that does nothing but work on these kind of custom installations. And there's so much that you can do there. Probably one of the most popular things people are doing are using one of our products called CLI Flex, which is just a flexible module, and you can make either concave or convex shapes with that. So incorporating these smooth curves that maybe continue into then a flat wall is something that's super popular. Wrapping columns, being able to get the modules or the cabinets exactly the right size to be able to wrap a module. Getting perfect 90-degree corners where there's really little, a black space between the intersection of these corners is very popular. Floors, ceilings, so how they're mounted, hanging, standing, mobile units is happening a lot. We're seeing a fair amount of interest in actually transparent now, and this crosses a couple technologies. We have this interesting product that is transparent OLED that we call look-through, and that's a 55-inch 1080 display, but that is has beautiful OLED content, but you can also see through. We're seeing that implemented into these installations, but also on the traditional LED side, we're seeing what they call these transparent installations as well, where if you put these transparent walls up against, for instance, an exterior facing window from the street, you can see the image, but there's room between the different slats in this LED surface that allow you to see through and also to allow light through. So just a huge variety of different custom installations and applications we're seeing now for LED.
Yeah, the OLED, the transparent, I've seen it at Infocom. I've seen it at different shows. Are you seeing adoption of OLED from integrators, and what spaces are they mostly using that look-through product that is so innovative that you guys are providing, but maybe for specific use cases?
Yeah, it's being used in a lot of different areas, and I'd say far and away the thing it is it grabs people's attention just because it's. I was amazed at the most recent ISE in Amsterdam. We'd been showing transparent OLED for a while. I mean, years, and still it's one of the most eye-catching things in the booth that really stops people in their tracks. This combination of being able to see a physical object or another screen through the display while you're viewing content on the display. So I think anywhere where people are trying to grab attention, so we see it being used a lot in any kind of live event, from a car show to a museum to any kind of live event type of thing. We're seeing it used in retail for sure. One of our significant vertical markets that we play in is broadcast for the on-air studio backdrops. We're seeing it now being deployed there, where you kind of, the studios are kind of small spaces, but you want it to appear open and large and more expansive. And so they're doing really creative things, mostly with LED, to give that feeling. But with the transparent OLED, again, it gives them another tool to be able to, for instance, if it's interactive too, if it has touch, to be able to interact with something, but it doesn't close off that portion of the studio backdrop. You can kind of still see through it. So it, again, allows them to give kind of this open feeling for what is really kind of a confined studio backdrop. So it's being used in a lot of really interesting ways.
Yeah, well, I know that Planar offers obviously all the solutions that we talked about. They're the only ones who really offer that look-through transparent display. So if integrators or people in the audience watching this want to learn more about what your solutions are, where can they find you guys?
Yeah, really very simple. Just come to planar.com and it's all there.
All right. Well, Steve Seminario, VP of Product Development for Planar, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Jonathan.